Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Skipper Surf Review. Just got to King's Glassing to meet up with Shea Somma. He's in town shaping custom boards and I ordered one custom from him and we're gonna talk today about this model. Let's go.
Yo, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll be right out.
Alright, let's go see it.
Perfect.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
See ya.
Yeah. Hi. Good to see you, Sandra.
Good to see you.
Yeah, how you been?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
Yep. Well, stoked to have you here. I'm so stoked too. Yeah. Yeah. Come on in. It's a new spot, laminating room, sanding room, and then shaping rooms up here. Wow.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Way better than last time.
Yeah.
Like more space.
Totally.
So many mini supers.
Yeah. We did 10 on this trip.
10. How many did you shape already? Like this?
This is number 9.
9. How was the fish yesterday?
Oh, so fun.
It's good?
Yeah. Waves are small, but clean. You know, you were there.
Yeah. You were longboarding, like you were just like on it.
I know. It's kind of antithetical to the fish fry, I think, but like I just was having a lot of fun on that longboard. And
yeah.
it was a Thomas Bexon longboard that Aaron here at King's had, and I'd always heard about his logs before, but I'd never had a chance to try one. So I was really excited to ride that one in particular because I'd been curious about that style of log for a while. I think.
Is your models almost similar to that one?
The ham and cheese
ham and cheese
kind of has some similarities for sure. I'd say my deck lines are a little bit more of a stepped deck with a dropped rail as opposed to like that really flat deck. And I have a tail concave on the deck side of the tail. I scoop out the deck side with a little bit of concave, which in theory helps with some nose riding and that kind of thing. And I'd say also the template of the ham and cheese is a little bit wider and more straight, more parallel overall, but definitely similar in the same vein. Like wide point behind center, more tail rocker than nose rocker, and some blended nose concave as well. So there's a lot of overlapping elements.
I guess for someone who is not very experienced like me, I wouldn't probably see a huge difference in that way, right?
Yeah, it's and that's a lot of board design differences are fairly subtle for sure. But yeah, they're definitely in the same family as each other. Yeah.
I should have tried compared to my Seattle log, which
that'd be interesting.
Yesterday but then like I'm gonna bring this one, then like 2 boards, that would be too much for me to carry.
Totally.
And I couldn't find volunteers to go with me. And,
yeah.
So well, we have volunteer today, my wife.
Yeah.
Filming.
Thanks, Zanda.
Thank you. By the way, congrats on winning Best in Show at Boardroom show last year.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm still in shock. That was a real surprise, and I'm totally over the moon and honored. That was a real highlight for me.
So you're gonna get the booth this year, right?
I am. Yeah, I'll be at the Boardroom show this year. I'll have a booth with full quiver of boards for sale, and happy to talk to anyone about customs and all that kind of thing as well, and just meet people.
Wow.
Say hello. I think it's October, if I'm not mistaken, the weekend of October 12th.
Oh, 12.
So usually it's a Saturday and a Sunday.
I'll see how my schedule is. Maybe I'll be able to make it there. Always wanted
Yeah, it's a great
go.
event.
Yeah.
Tons of people, a lot of surf industry people, and a lot of surf legends too. Last year Tom Curran played music, and saw all kinds of folks walking around that you've always seen in like videos or magazines and that kind of thing. Wow. So it's a pretty fun event if you're into surfing and kind of have been keyed into all these things over the years. Yeah.
The next challenge for this year is what this design?
It's a TWINZER, actually.
It's gonna be TWINZER.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where it's 4 fins, but the smaller fin leads ahead of the larger fin, as opposed to a quad setup where it's usually a larger fin with a smaller trailing fin. So it's a Will Jobson was the originator of the design, is a San Diego shaper. And the idea is that there's a canard fin which breaks up water flow for the trailing larger fin, which is more where you get your drive from. And yeah, I've been stoked to shape some TWINZERs over the last couple of years, and I'm excited to enter again. We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I guess that's what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah, that's
TWINZERs.
right. Yeah, we're talking about making a TWINZER for you. So that's perfect.
I mean, maybe I don't need a TWINZER, but I've been having this board for almost a year. And I keep upgrading it to the next level. Like I would play with different fins. Then I found one fin, like, all right, this is amazing. It's going. Then it's like, let me try to add this knob.
Yep.
Because I tried like a regular, like a trailer, and there's just like a lot of drag. I even tried with a thruster. It was still not what I expected, and it wasn't going as fast as I wanted to.
Sure.
So it's like I've got this knob, and then I tried this fins, and this is the ultimate setup for me now. Like I can do like a deeper bottom turn, like go a little bit higher on the wave, and then kind of turn it back to the pocket like with the same speed, not losing speed with the knob. It still gives you like this control and like confidence
without feeling any drag.
Yeah, but this is just because I want to create different lines.
Of course.
So
yeah.
In general, I've been surfing this as a twin, fast, fun, beating all sections, easy to surf.
Okay.
But I would love to see what would be next in a way to push it a little bit in bigger waves. Maybe in something like 4 to 5 plus days. I did take me Siemens out on hurricane swells. 4 to 5 here, 4 to 6 sometimes. I struggle on lefts. Rights I didn't struggle.
Okay.
So rights were fine. Like I would set my line and I could go. But the lefts, when it's steep, then it gets too much speed, and then I'm just losing control.
Felt like a bar of soap.
Yeah. What model you have as a TWINZER? What is it called?
So I've been working on a model called the Panza, and so I'm making 2 different variations of that: a Pintail version for when the waves are hollower, bigger, and an Arctail version for when the waves are smaller. The DNA of that design is definitely in the Mini Simmons family. It features roll up front, belly up front in the first quarter of the board or so to a third of the board, and then flat through the middle, and then a double concave as well through the tail, but with a TWINZER setup. And in order to make it more performance oriented, rather than have a super wide, super parallel template, it's a lot curvier template. It has a lot more curve nose to tail. So basically, surfboard design boils down to go fast or turn, and you're kind of balancing those things. Things that make you go fast make it harder to turn. Things that make you easy to turn make it harder to go fast. So one of the things that helps you turn is you add curve in the template of the board as opposed to really straight lines. And basically that's the general rule. Curves make you turn, flats or straights make you go fast. So it's a curvier template with still a fairly low rocker and concave under the tail. And I've been riding it as a TWINZER setup, which kind of to your point about feeling like the twin, just a twin alone, felt a little loose, like it was easy to break the tail out and slide. The TWINZER adds, that leading fin adds an element of control and drive and hold that just a pure twin doesn't have as much of. So, and to me, it's with no loss of speed. So it feels very much like a twin in that sense of being able to beat sections and have a really loose feeling, fast feeling down the line, but will really hold through a turn and not really want to break out of a line. It'll be more difficult to break out of a line than a twin would be.
Wow, that's amazing.
So yeah, it's a fun model. Those are the Pintail and the Arctail have been my kind of 2 go-to boards for the last couple of years. It's probably what I've been riding more than anything else. And so I'm excited about.
What wave range would it start from?
The Arctails are for smaller waves, so 2 foot to 5, 6 foot, somewhere in that range. And then the Pintails are for not necessarily big waves, not like a 10-foot wave, but if it's more like 4 to 8 foot and more curve in the wave face, if it's hollower, if it's more like tubes rather than a softer faced wave, then I like the Pintail version. And then, yeah, you can start scaling up the template to different, it kind of becomes a different thing when you start scaling it up to a more 6 foot plus range of size. I've been shaping them from 5'2" to 6'2" in that range. And then once you get beyond 6'2", then the templates start changing, and then it kind of becomes more custom beyond that. But generally, I like them in that shorter range, similar to the Mini Simmons. I tend to like those kind of shorter, more compact, wider shapes for my own surfing. So that's what I've been focusing on.
Wow, great, thank you for explaining it. I guess the Mini Super will be in the quiver for under 2 foot waves, and then
Sure.
the Panza will step up from 2 and go bigger.
Yeah, and depending on how we do the tail shape for you, it can open up the range towards bigger waves or keep it more towards small waves. So if you wanted the Arctail, that would keep it towards small waves, and if you wanted the Pintail, that'll orient it towards bigger or hollower waves. Or we can do something, you know, custom for you if you wanted something in between. It kind of, you know, that's the fun of hand shaping, is we can always modify it and customize it for what you would like, and have fun with playing with those two elements and trying to find some space in between.
I don't surf like a huge wave. Like, I'm not a
Sure.
really fan of it. I like 3 to 5. That's my favorite size. Like I can do turns. It's not, you know, that scary. Like, and I don't have to contemplate my life, like, and things like that. Like, should I go for this one? I think like Arctail, that's what I would probably go with. For the size, what would be your recommendation to color?
Yeah, I personally, I've been surfing 5'4" in the Arctail, and for my Mini Super, I've been riding 5'0".
5'1".
So I think you've been riding a 5'4" Mini Super, so maybe we bump it up to like a 5'6" or so for your Arctail Panza. I think could be about right for you. The Arctail really keeps a lot of width through and a straighter line through the tail, which does orient it towards smaller, you know, under head high waves for the most part. It can go higher, but it's kind of more suited towards the smaller end of the spectrum. It's a wide point centered design, and in fact, like the Mini Supers are also wide point centered. The Pintail version, I am doing more of a wide point forward, but again, that's more orienting it towards hollow waves.
What would be the problem if you do wide point forward?
It just draws in the tail more, and it makes it more oriented towards holding in a more critical wave face. So I think like if you were surfing more of like a dredging wave, it puts a lot of foam forward for paddling under your chest, but then drawing in the template adds a lot of curve into the tail that wants to hold in like a hollower wave face. So it just puts it more into that category of hollow waves. And if you wanted to surf it, you're talking about trying to still surf it in 2 to 3 foot waves. It's not going to surf as well in those types of waves because you have less planing area under your back foot. So when you have a smaller, softer wave, one of the things that helps a lot is having a lot of planing area under your back foot to keep it gliding and floating through softer, fatter sections of the wave. When the wave has a lot of power and it's really critical, you don't need as much help from the board keeping the thing moving because the wave compensates for that power. And so you can get away with a narrower tail.
Can you get barrel on the Panza?
Oh, of course, yeah.
With the Arctail?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think it won't feel too different than this. It's definitely in the same family.
Just more curvy.
More curvy.
Yeah.
Like I surf mine up to a couple feet overhead, the Arctail, and it's a lot of fun. It's just when it starts like getting really hollow, a lot of curve in the face, then I tend to gravitate towards the Pintail version, especially if it's overhead but like a little bit mushy, that kind of thing. Then you're going to be stoked on the Arctail. It'll feel like super loose, super fast, and be able to really hold in through turns still, thanks to the more curvy template and the TWINZER fin setup. San Luis Obispo, where I live, is some really kind of funky little reefs here and there, but mostly beach break.
So that
There's
would be...
points down in Santa Barbara, but that's for me hour and a half to 2 hour drive. And so generally I'm, especially, you know, having a little kid now, I'm surfing pretty short sessions. So I just go close to my house. Yeah, which is beach break for the most part.
Is the steepness similar to Rockaway, you think, or like?
Yeah, there's some similar ways to Rockaway.
Softer?
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple beach breaks that have a similar feel to Rockaway.
You're using like similar blank to the one that you use for Mini Super with a little bit more tail rocker?
I am, yeah. It's the 510 RP, standard rocker, US blanks. Blue density is a nice, it's actually a slightly heavier foam, but more dense, but it means that it's more durable. Holds up better over time. They are great blanks, made in the USA, solar powered factory. Love US blanks. It's pretty much all I shape.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, so out of this 10 Mini Supers, did anyone order like something like what I
The
have?
Yuri style.
Your style?
Yeah, 2.
2?
2 out of the 10. Yeah, there's a 8 out of 10. Well, no, 7 out of 10 are like stock Mini Super. I got 1 asymmetrical order and 2 specifically Yuri style double concave with the 3rd fin box.
When the people ordered like board, were you giving them like options like, hey, you could do actually double if you want to? Like,
Well, it's kind of like the conversation we just had, where it's like, where do you envision surfing it? What conditions are you thinking about? What are you hoping to, how are you hoping to surf? Are you trying to surf it more top to bottom? Are you just trying to get a lot of waves? So how long have you been surfing? How often are you able to go surfing? What's your height and weight? All those things factor into what I'm kind of trying to assess what I think that person would enjoy the most in their surfing life based on all those questions. And so, yeah, so that's kind of the conversation that happens, and then try and make an assessment, and hopefully what we come to is something that they're going to really enjoy.
I'm down to go for it.
Okay.